What's going on, everybody? Let's have a little Bible study, shall we? So, today we're going to be reading Psalms chapter 55, verses 12 through 14. And it says, If an enemy were insulting me, I could endure it. If a foe were rising against me, I could hide. But it is you, a man like myself, my companion, my close friend, with whom I once enjoyed sweet fellowship at the house of God as we walked among the worshipers. So this is kind of that cursor, if you will, to what I was reading yesterday. And this is David again speaking about a betrayal that he has faced. The unique thing about this is that we often speak about, that church hurt and, in the church. And I only put quotes because I'm a person who believes that you can be hurt in the church. And a lot of times people don't. I knew someone who told me like, well, church hurt is not a real thing because it's just people hurt. But if it happened in the church, then it's church hurt. It's just a name to put on the specific type of hurt. Like if you were financially. I mean, if you were hurt by your spouse, is it would be considered domestic violence, right? If you got into an altercation with, I mean, if you were an elderly person and somebody's taking advantage of you, they would call it elder, you know, I don't know if I can say that word, but they would call it elder AB, right? So it's just a word to put on the specific type of hurt. So I do believe that you can be hurt in the church, and sometimes the hurt in the church can seem worse because it's people like Paul said, if it were somebody who was an enemy of mine, just like if it were a family member, it would sting worse. If we're an enemy, then yeah, I can be like, okay, I can recognize that. There's a quote, I can't remember it exactly, but it talks about, rather having an open enemy than an open enemy than a secret friend or something like that. But basically, rather you be an enemy to my face than be just like a fake friend. So, and the significance in all of this is that David continued on. Like he gave his grievance to God, but he still was able to continue on. He still was able to go through and complete his mission. So what it tells us is that the hurt that you receive in the church and your family and your marriage, your relationship, your friendships, whatever, it does not determine or dictate how you go on. You can still go on. You can still continue. You can still, fight the good fight, if you will. Um, and I really love this. I really love David's laments because David is very transparent a lot of the times, and a lot of the times because us as believers, followers of Christ, we always have this ideology. I don't know where it came from, but we always have this ideology of like, don't speak that into the atmosphere. There's a difference between speaking something in proclamation, like I'm proclaiming that thing over me, than just being vulnerable and being open. Because if I say that I'm experiencing some doubt or some fear, some worry, but this is how I got out of it, then why not say the thing? I used to say this all the time, and I stopped saying it for a while because, as you guys know, certain things that I used to say a lot just like, oh, I feel like I'm wearing it out. But I used to always say, better to acknowledge the dragon and slay it rather than to deny its existence and be devoured. I would much rather call that thing out, to say that this is what I'm going through, this is a thing that I'm experiencing, and this is how I'm going to get out of it. So really, actually, really love this scripture, this thing that David is going through, and just the book in itself, and the story of David in itself, because he shows himself to be a very transparent and open person. So my prayer, my encouragement is that we get to a place where we are able to be as transparent and say like, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm dealing with, but also this is how I'm going to get out of it. Or I don't know how to get out of it, so I need someone who's either been through this, who's going through it, or who has the tools and the knowledge to help me get through this, and we can get through it together. So that's really pretty much all I wanted to share for today. with that being said, make sure you're following this guy right here. Make sure you like the video, share the video, favorite the video, comment on the video, repost the video, and do all the things, and all the things. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, love, and light. Bye.